Yeah. Go ahead. What are you going to announce today?
Well, I filed a lawsuit against TD Bank and Scott Rothstein and TD Bank officials as co-conspirators in the biggest Ponzi scheme ever to hit Broward County and probably South Florida.
How much is your lawsuit for?
Well, my lawsuit is for $100 million on behalf of my clients, probably another $400 million on behalf of others, plus punitive damages for allowing this to happen. When I have to move for that, but the facts in the complaint, which you all have, support a punitive damage claim against all of them.
Give us a highlight to some of those complaints, some of those facts.
Well, how about this? Mr. Spinoza, the senior vice president of TD Bank, and Scott Rothstein were eating lunch on the Monday before he left for Morocco, and an investor who had invested huge sum, many millions of dollars, approached them agitated because his payments had not been received the week before. The banker got visibly upset, and Rothstein gave him some kind of an answer, and left for Morocco the very next day. And notwithstanding that, $16 million was wired to Morocco after that conversation. And notwithstanding that, virtually every account at that bank, trust accounts, at that bank for the firm, were drained. After he left for Morocco, the money continued to be drained out of that account until it all left the account.
And that's all from TD Bank?
Money?
All through TD Bank.
How much?
There was $235 million, I think, give or take, that was deposited in October, all that left the bank during that month. So many millions were drained after he left for Morocco.
Where did it go?
To Morocco for $16 million, and then all over the place to various names of people and companies that some of which I recognize and some of them I don't recognize.
In the U.S. or this country?
The Morocco obviously isn't in this country, but as far as the others, I can't tell, who they are, and it appears that they were here in the United States.
Do you believe those are accounts controlled by him?
Yes.
But you don't only go after Mr. Rothstein, you go after a whole bunch of people.
Yes, everybody that touched this, that knew about this, that was a conspirator or co-conspirator or was in the main conspiracy, and you see how we've alleged it. But principally, the principal defendant is TD Bank. And obviously its officials and Rothstein and the people in Rothstein's office that were involved to allow this scam to be perpetrated.
Do you think that TD Bank is criminally guilty here?
I'm a civil lawyer. I only know fraud. I only know punitive damages. That'll be up to the prosecutors to determine.
So is that his law firm is named? Are there other lawyers, or these are just staff?
They're only staff that we have evidence of at this time, and the complaint says who they are. The chief operating officer, the financial officer, and some of the other people, including lawyers, a lawyer who was directly involved with the investors in selling the Ponzi scheme.
What do you make of his show of...
It's in the complaint, David.
What do you make of Rothstein's show of contrition and his statements that he's going to pay everybody back and he has the money and all this stuff?
I think he's trying to work off a life sentence. I think he's not doing it for anybody but himself. I think it's a big show that he took that money and went to Morocco to come back and be on his white horse and make it good. What he's making good is he's trying one more time. He's trying to manipulate us into believing that he's a good guy or has some, contrition. But it's all restitution. He knows what the sentencing guidelines are, and he's trying to make restitution to save his sorry hide.
Can he still access them, the $232 million?
No, well, I would hope the federal authorities would have him under lockdown conditions so he can't access any of that. I mean, I don't know who's paying for the martinis at Capitol Grill, but I doubt that he can access very much of that money.
And that money is still there, you think, $232 million?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we'll be able to find it with the federal authorities' help. I don't believe he spent 230. I mean, he was a prolific spender, but I don't think he spent $230 million in October. I think he hit it.
You outlined in your lawsuit how much your clients put in. How much did they get back before he left the country, before this all went down?
That was a net $100 million, and most of my clients got back nothing. My biggest client got back $2.5 million of payments that were scheduled to be paid, on time in accordance with the Ponzi scheme. But those are all net numbers. That $100 million does not include the $2.5 million that one of the clients got back.
Any proof that Rosenfeld or Adler was involved in any way or had any knowledge?
If I had it, I would have put it in there. And if I had proof sufficient enough to plead it. I mean, we have a lot of information that others were involved or may be involved, but I wasn't going to put it in there without, more evidence of it. I mean, obviously, all that's going to come out as we proceed in this lawsuit.
Have you been in touch with the guys sharing a lot of the stuff that's in your lawsuit with them?
I have been in touch with the federal authorities and sharing information.
That lunch.
So they know what you know? They know what you know?
I'm trying to let them know what I know. I don't know if I'm ahead of them or behind them because they won't tell you what they know. So I only know what I know. I don't know what they know, but I'm telling them everything I know.
That lunch.
You know?
Yeah, well, that's right.
Which client was it who bumped into them at lunch? And was that at Boba's or where was that?
At Boba. Oh yeah, it was at Boba's. That's where he ate lunch every day.
Right.
I think there were people that bumped into him on the Monday and the Tuesday that he left. The Tuesday being the 27th, Monday's the 26th. If I have those dates correct, people saw him there with people, including the banker, on maybe both days.
But which investor bumped into him Monday?
I've alleged that in the complaint, Richard Pearson.
And will any of your clients talk to us?
Probably not, because anything they say is an admission, and lawyers don't like clients to make admissions that maybe could be construed wrongly. So probably not. It'd be good for your story, I know that, but I doubt if any of these folks are going to speak to you. And, they've all been victims of a Ponzi scheme. People that have been Ponzi are embarrassed about it, naturally, and so they're not wanting to. So.
How are they been affected then? Can you talk about that?
How are they? Well, financially, they're not as rich as they were. There have been a lot of other people that got hurt. People that were normal clients of the law firm. I mean, he didn't just drink. He wasn't just Robin Hood. Folks, don't believe he just took from the rich and gave to himself. He took from other people, normal people, who put money in that trust account to buy houses, to sell houses, that they trusted that law firm, and he drained all of that out when he left.
How many investors did Richard Pearson bring in?
I don't know.
Can you talk about, can you summarize the key documents you found that show that Spinoza was in on this?
We have, The question was key documents of Spinoza. The complaint is very detailed, and when you read it, you'll see then it attaches those documents. Emails, bank balances that were confirmed by Mr. Spinoza and others in the bank, written documents, verifications, numerous touches. You want to keep it out? There are numerous we've been calling in the office touches of the investors with the bank, and not just with Rothstein. But remember, in a conspiracy, if they are in a conspiracy and involved in this Ponzi scheme, acts of Rothstein are just like acts of the bank. But there's a lot of acts of the bank in there as well. And we've tried to allege them and state them with specificity particularity.
Do you have any